Have you ever called your granddaughter the wrong name and just seconds later realized your mind was blank, as if a memory was never there? Or one afternoon found yourself standing in the kitchen, not quite sure why you went in there? After 60, some changes arrive so subtly others don't notice. But we ourselves, we feel every little shift. Memory, something that seemed so effortless when younger, now becomes something that makes us hesitate, worry, and sometimes quietly withdraw, afraid of showing our confusion. People often talk about illnesses, medications, or physical aches and pains, but few mention that unsettling feeling when memory starts to fade, when you tell the same story for the third time, or when you once miss a dose of medication. It's something no one really prepares for. But today, I want to be here with you to talk about these very real human challenges that many of us face as we get older. And more importantly, we'll explore simple, gentle ways for you to face, accept, and overcome them without feeling ashamed or losing confidence. If you've ever sighed because your memory isn't what it once was, stick around until the end of this video, because sometimes just a gentle reminder is enough to help you feel you're not alone on this journey. So let's dive in, shall we? And first up in today's video, forgetting acquaintances' names can make you feel isolated. Older folks don't suffer just from forgetting names, but from the shame until they hesitate to call anyone. And so their world shrinks until there's no one left to call by name. At this age, forgetting someone's name, perhaps a long-term neighbor or a close friend from younger days, isn't uncommon. But what truly saddens many isn't the forgetting itself, but the feeling of shame, embarrassment, and the fear of being judged. And because of this, they gradually avoid conversations, avoid social interactions, and ultimately isolate themselves from relationships that were once so very familiar. Sadly, they don't realize this isolation often begins not from others, but from the silent fear within their own hearts. According to the Alzheimer's Association, mild memory decline often starts with forgetting names, familiar words, or having difficulty naming relatives. This isn't unusual at all, and if identified early, it can often be improved through memory training and maintaining social interaction. The more fear and avoidance, the more name recallability can decline due to lack of stimulation. Take Linda, 76, from Minnesota, who once avoided her close friend at their care facility for weeks, just because she couldn't recall her name. Until one day she said frankly, "My dear, my mind's a bit muddled these days. Could you tell me your name again?" And from then on they laughed, then shared about other times forgetting names, realizing they weren't alone in this. Contrast that with Jack, 80, in New York, who, feeling ashamed for misnaming an old friend, gradually stopped attending their weekly get-togethers. That distance made him withdraw more and more, and his memory seemed to shrink along with it. If you let shame from forgetting names make you retreat, your world will slowly shrink. And when you stop calling someone's name, your mind also gradually forgets how to connect, not just with others, but with your own once vibrant life. When you don't recall a name, just smile and ask gently, "My mind's a bit fuzzy these days. Could you remind me of your name?" You might be surprised by the understanding you receive. Additionally, try writing familiar names on sticky notes, create a little Facebook, and review it weekly as a way to stay connected. There is nothing to be ashamed of when memory sometimes falters. It's sadder to let it stop you from living fully, surrounded by love. Getting a name wrong doesn't create distance. It's stopping yourself from reaching out that truly brings loneliness. And when memory starts to lose its rhythm, it's not just names that get confused. Time and daily routines can also begin to blur. Someone might start mixing up times not due to age itself, but because nothing anchors their day enough to remember specific times. And tragically, sometimes just mistaking medication time can mean they might not wake up again. Many people after 60 live in an environment no longer constrained by time. No need for work, no school runs, no more fixed appointments. They think sleeping when they want, eating whenever they please, and resting without a set schedule feels truly liberating. But this very unstructured freedom can actually disrupt the body's natural rhythms. Gradually, people forget proper meal times, sleep at odd hours, and lose track of morning versus afternoon. And when the biological clock is disrupted, memory can lose its rhythm too. According to the National Institute on Aging, a stable biological rhythm, particularly sleep-wake cycles, eating habits, and exercise, is crucial for maintaining mental health and cognitive function. This confusion about time can increase the risk of sleep disorders, memory decline, and a sense of disorientation in older adults. Bill, 79 from Texas, stopped setting an alarm after retiring. Gradually, he stayed up late, slept late, and ate lunch at 3 o'clock p.m. One day, he confused his medication time and fainted. After that, his son helped him reset his daily schedule with alarms and a notepad, and he gradually felt healthier, more alert. Meanwhile, Teresa, 82 in Illinois, once switched on the dinner lights at 10 a.m., thinking it was late afternoon. This confusion made her increasingly disoriented, and she even started refusing to go out. If you let your daily schedule become too unpredictable, your mind might drift too, with nothing to anchor it. And once you're no longer sure what day it is, what you've eaten, or when you slept, you can lose your grip on your own life. Create a simple timetable. Wake up around the same time, eat 3 regular meals, and aim for bed before 10 o'clock p.m. Use a paper calendar or whiteboard to note the day, time, and tasks, placing it somewhere visible. Each small regular habit becomes an anchor, helping your memory find its footing. You don't need a rigid schedule, just a framework to help your memory rest, stay alert, and feel stable. Because when your mind knows it's morning, evening, mealtime, or bedtime, your life at any age will feel much clearer and more manageable. And when daily routines get disorganized, medication is often one of the first things affected. An elderly woman tragically passed away from one small mistake. She thought she hadn't taken her heart medicine, but she actually had. Each pill, if taken incorrectly, could be the difference between a normal day and your last. Many think taking medicine is minor. If a dose is missed, it's likely no big deal. But after 60, most of us take multiple medications daily for blood pressure, diabetes, joints, brain health. Taking them on time correctly becomes the backbone of a healthy day. But sadly, memory decline makes this task easy to forget. Someone might leave meds in the kitchen, then forget after coffee. Some take it, then can't recall, so they take it twice. And so, a seemingly small action can lead to silent, serious consequences. According to research from Johns Hopkins Medicine, nearly 40% of older adults struggle to follow medication schedules correctly. And this can lead to less effective treatment, a higher risk of relapse, or dangerous drug reactions. Consistent medication use is a proven factor in helping delay cognitive decline in older adults. Janet, 81 in North Carolina, was hospitalized for a sharp blood pressure drop just because she thought she'd missed her morning pill when she'd already taken it. After, her granddaughter got her a pill organizer with timed sections, morning, noon, afternoon, evening, and an alarm. She said, "Now I don't need to remember much. I just hear the bell and know what to do." Contrast that with Lee, 79 in Pennsylvania, who refused reminders saying, "I'm still sharp." But in just 2 weeks, he missed his heart medication 3 times, leading to an irregular heartbeat and hospital observation. Relying on a weakening memory for medication means you're gambling with your health. And one forgotten pill today could mean pain tomorrow or an unexpected ambulance trip. Use a pill organizer sorted by day and time with clock or phone reminders. Post a medication to schedule where it's easy to see, like near the dining table or bedside. And importantly, don't hesitate to ask a loved one for weekly checks. That's not weakness. It's a brave step towards managing your health well. Taking medicine on time isn't just discipline, it's self-care in small details. Because sometimes a lifetime of clarity starts with one pill taken on time, today. If you're still watching and finding this helpful, maybe drop a 3 in the comments to let me know. And hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, consider hitting that subscribe button and the bell so you don't miss out on new videos. Your support really helps us keep creating more helpful and inspiring content. And besides medication issues, another often overlooked sign, an early indicator of memory decline, is not realizing you're retelling the same story repeatedly to the same person. When an older person stops telling stories, it's not because they have nothing left to say, but often because they've been interrupted with, "You've told that one before." From that day on, they might grow quiet, and you may never hear them tell another story again. Many older adults feel awkward, even ashamed, when reminded they're repeating old stories. They don't mean to, it's just short-term memory becoming fragmented, making it hard to tell if they've shared it before. But because of this embarrassment, they gradually share less, talk less, and lose the joy of connection. A repeated story isn't usually the real issue. It's the prolonged silence that causes relationships to fade. According to the Alzheimer's Society in the UK, retelling stories is a common sign in early memory decline. However, communication and storytelling remain vital for brain flexibility, especially when older adults are heard with patience and understanding. Harold, 82 from New Hampshire, was once lively and loved telling army stories. But after his grandchild blurted out, "Grandpa, you've told that one," he grew quiet. His daughter noticed the change and said, "Please keep telling it. I find something new each time." From then, he became himself again. Meanwhile, Diane, 79 in Nevada, embarrassed about repeating stories, withdrew from friends' gatherings, leading to lasting loneliness and isolation. When you silence yourself for fear of repeating, you are also slowly closing off the world around you. And memory, if not nurtured by communication, will fade further, like a book shelved and never opened. Talk every day with anyone willing to listen. If you worry about repeating, you can preface it. "I'm not sure if I've told this, but I'd love to share it again." And if someone truly cares for you, they won't mind hearing it again, because those details are part of who you are. A repeated story is proof that the memory is still alive. So don't stay silent, fearing mistakes. Keep telling, because sometimes you also need to hear your own story, to remember, to live, and to smile. And when the fear of misspeaking or repeating becomes constant, many start hesitating, not just in close chats, but even in simple daily interactions. When an older person falls silent, it's not because they have nothing to say, but because they fear saying it wrong. And each time they hold back, their brain misses a chance to practice staying engaged. At a certain age, many begin to fear small conversational mistakes, misnaming someone, using the wrong word, losing their train of thought. No one scolds them, but inwardly, they blame themselves. Gradually, they avoid conversation, just nodding or smiling, withdrawing from once familiar gatherings. The heartbreaking part, this fear of error makes them miss connection opportunities when all people want is their presence and sincerity. Research from the National Institutes of Health shows that low confidence in communication is one reason older adults reduce social interaction, a factor that can speed up cognitive decline. Meanwhile, regular conversation, even if not perfectly fluent, still helps activate the brain's language areas and keeps memory more agile. Nancy, 83 in Washington, used to be very talkative, but after a few hesitations, misnaming her grandchild, forgetting words mid-story, she fell completely silent, until a friend said, "I'm not here to hear you speak perfectly. I'm here to hear you." She finally cried and slowly began speaking again, sincerely. Contrast that with Frank, 78 in Arizona, who, feeling self-conscious and after a few stumbles, even refused calls from his daughter, falling into months of silence. If you let fear of misspeaking stop you from communicating, your mind will weaken from lack of practice, and your heart will shrink from lack of sharing. You'll gradually withdraw from life, not because others leave you, but because you withdrew first. Just chat daily, tell short stories, ask simple questions, or read a newspaper passage aloud. If needed, jot down what you want to say before a call or meeting. And if you misspeak, just smile and carry on. Because what makes you precious isn't perfect speech, but the courage to keep speaking up. You might not speak as quickly or remember as fully as before, but every word you utter is a heartbeat, a soul still wanting to connect. So don't let fear keep you silent. Speak, because you are still here and your voice still matters. No one teaches us how to forget a name, and no one teaches us how to forgive ourselves when memory isn't what it used to be. But you know what? Sometimes forgetting isn't the scariest part. It's the loneliness, thinking you're the only one going through it. The truth is, you are not alone at all. So many people are also learning to live with moments when memory slips, also struggling with medication bottles at the wrong times, with that hesitant look when retelling a story, and even with that quiet withdrawal, fearing they're bothering others. But from today, please remember, you are still doing great in your own way. Just wanting to improve, wanting to keep your mind clear. That's already a huge step forward. If you recognized yourself in what we shared, perhaps leave a few lines below as a reminder that you're present and you're heard. And if you know someone quietly going through similar things, maybe share this video with them, because sometimes a gentle word can help someone feel a little lighter. May you find something to remember each day, be it a smile, a meal, or just the morning sun on your porch. You are still living, and there are still so many beautiful things awaiting you ahead.